Hi, this is Okolo.
This is Patricia Sunshine.
So, we are twin flames,
Yes, it means a lot.
and we wanted to explain a little bit of what that means. Conceptually, we can explain what it means, but then we can also explain practically what it means. And the practical side of it is what's more amazing than the, theoretical side, shall we say, or the spiritual side.
Right.
So, would you like to talk on this first? Or you want me to?
Oh, you can speak on it.
Okay. So, a twin flame is a soul that was split in two upon its creation.
Right.
And these twin flames, the souls inhabit different bodies at different times. And sometimes they will find each other in a lifetime, but they might be different ages. So it might be a different type of relationship. It doesn't always have to be...
Sometimes you have to catch up with one
right, you
another.
have to catch up with each other. But typically what they say is on your last...
Go round.
Go round. Rodeo, your last rodeo. Your last rodeo.
Last rodeo.
You find each other and you reunite as one romantically.
Right.
So it's always attempting to be a romantic relationship, but the situation doesn't always allow for it.
Yes.
So that's the spiritual, metaphysical, theoretical side of it. The practical side of it. Why don't you give an example from today?
Oh, okay. So, all right. When I'm put on a spot like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No. Wait, what was the one we just talked about?
Okay, so, all right. So Okolo made a suggestion that we can do it. I can't even remember.
Oh, I know what it was.
I'm forgetting because
no, I made a comment. Okay, so there's so many. This kind of thing happens all the time, but this is an example from today.
Right.
We were talking about faith.
Right.
And I said the first most important thing is we have to have faith in ourselves.
Right.
And she said, "Oh my gosh, I was just reading about that today."
Yes.
I was reading about how you need to have. So tell us what the I Ching said.
Yeah, so the I Ching, it's like something you pull up for just a little wisdom for the day or something like that. It's called the I Ching. So it said, first you have to have, instead of faith, which it means pretty much the same thing, like in what the connotative meaning was that you have to have faith and you have to have confidence in what you're doing. And then you'll be able to do it with more persuasiveness, I guess, for lack of a better word. But Okolo started mentioning, whenever he started talking, it triggered a memory that I had, of something that I read earlier. And he mentioned that we're sharing. And it's true, it's like a download of information. Like, once I get it, he automatically gets it. Even if we communicate it differently, it's the sharing of information, and it's the same whether we discuss it or not, And so, but there's so many ways that we have it that shown that we are like one, and that we're syncing up at more
At a faster pace.
At a faster pace.
We're syncing up. Literally, it's like she'll have an experience, or she'll have a thought earlier in the day, and then I will come up and say it, or I will have a thought or an experience, and then she will say it.
Yeah, there's a lot more. Some things are on a physical level. Like both of us, we've been together for 2 years, so most of these things are showing up as time progressed. But we were involved in a car accident like 5 months, I think, after we got together. And while we were going through chiropractic care, it was discovered that Okolo has one short leg. Like one of his legs is shorter than the other. One hip is higher or whatever. And I discovered that years ago while auditioning for a job to be a clothing model with Kato's. So they were doing my measurements and everything, and they were like, "Hey," like they were having problems getting everything. They just had to keep restarting, right? And then eventually, the lady just came out and said, "Do you know that one of your hips is higher than the other?" So that was the first time I heard it, and that was in 2011. But Okolo just discovered it while we were going through chiropractic care. And I hadn't even told Okolo, and I hadn't mentioned it to that chiropractor, but my chiropractor in South Carolina, he discovered it for himself as well. But so Okolo and I were both lying on the table at the chiropractor's office in Massachusetts where we were living. And he said, "Oh my gosh, both of you have one leg that is shorter than the other." And it was the mirror image. And it was so weird. I was like, I couldn't believe that Okolo has that. And like, we have so many body part similarities, and like so many things that we do that's similar. Like, he has a granny hump, I have a granny hump. Like, we can't take these things for granted. Like, how many people have you dated have the same features and things like that, you know? So we don't take it for granted, and we're every day discovering more and more things. And like, we were at a conference once, and we were just sitting beside one another. I wouldn't even, someone told me before that he looks like he could be a family member, and I was like, okay, yeah, I think so too, because he looks like my mother's side of the family. But you know, I just brushed it off. I'm like, okay, yeah. But we were sitting beside one another at this conference. It was dinner time actually, and someone walked up and said, "Oh my gosh, you two look so much alike." Like, I can't really see that, but he says I remind him so much of his mother. Like, we have the same hands, we have the same mannerism. Well, not mannerism, but we have the same, like, we have some of the same behaviors. We're both Aries. He said I pop gum just like she does. I'm always trying to be right, or I always think I'm right. So it's funny like that. There's so many other things, like some of the things that are similar, I can't even discuss because, you know, they're kind of private.
One thing I can say is we breathe in sync, we sigh in sync. That is weird. Mm-hmm. Like, we'll both do a deep sigh, and I'll realize that she was just started the same time I did.
And we walk on the same, at the same pace.
Right.
And it's like, what is it? The same, we just stride. We have the same stride.
Right. So you know how you do a potato sack race? We can walk completely in sync, where my right leg is next to her left leg, mm-hmm. you know, and walk completely in sync. And we can even jog and run that way.
Yeah. And it's almost like our outer legs are the same length and our inner legs are the same length.
Oh man, that is true. That is true.
That's why we can do it. It's like we're mirror images, and it helps us to keep in sync while we're walking. So we both of us have a shorter leg, and it happens to be side by side when we're walking. So it's so weird. It's cute. But there's so many other things. We've been jotting down things, like, if I had known Okolo was going to start a video, I would have had my list ready of all the things that we've been jotting down that we haven't seen in common. It's like probably 20 to 30 different similarities. Yeah.
All right, we'll share that list as well. Have a great day.
Bye.